Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Noisy Neighbours podcast. I'm joined here by my brother Christian to react to the mega news today that Liverpool have sealed the Alexander Isak signing for £125 million. British record signing. The saga's over, Christian. Let's get it, my friend. Okay, Christian, Alexander Isak, 125 million. I'm not smiling. This has been a absolute slam dunk summer for Liverpool, and we will get into sort of a bit more detail of what they've done this summer, not just Isak. However, I don't think calling this the cherry on top of the cake does it justice, really, to be honest. They've also started 3 wins out of 3 after a very good win yesterday against Arsenal. What's your initial reaction to this? Obviously, your team lost out Florian Wirtz to Liverpool. We did a video on that. We had great interaction from our Liverpool pals. What is your reaction to them now slam dunking home the summer with the signing of the fantastic Alexander Isak?
I think the thing I can compare it to, Alex, is what my club were great at, and it feels like we've strayed away from. And Liverpool have taken that blueprint and they're running with it and doing it very well. And I think, look, we did it with Riyad Mahrez, top of his game. We went and got him. Erling Haaland, what it really makes me think of. I do, Alex, you call it, you said slam dunk. I agree, mate. I really do. I think this is an unbelievable signing. And the prospect of what he could give them, a completely different dynamic. Of course, we saw them having Nunes, who was just chaos. He was great running in behind. He was inconsistent with his finishing. Probably a compliment to even say that. What this guy does, mate, it just opens them up to so many different possibilities. And I am scared at the prospect of how good these are actually going to be and what Slot could do with this team now.
Yeah, I haven't. You know what's wild? I haven't actually thought about it just until today, really. Just because it's not happened, and the word Newcastle was saying no, we're not selling and stuff like that. And obviously they've had to. I mean, he isn't a training. You've got a £125 million asset. That isn't. And then obviously they did your favourite thing where they went and signed the lad from was it Stuttgart? I can't remember. For a ridiculous amount of 80 million, who got less goals than Sesko. So I don't know what that was about. But our mate Ryan, if you're watching this, I'm interested to see what you think about that signing. Look, man, Alexander Isak is class. Him and Haaland are 1 and 2 strikers in the Prem. Slightly different. Alexander Isak, I think Haaland's slightly better in the box. I think Isak is slightly better rounded. Man, this is terrifying just because of we saw it last year and like if it was just say the same Liverpool team except Isak in for Nunes or Jota or Gakpo or whoever plays central or Diaz, you could have sort of just looked at it and gone, well, it's just a plug and play. Szoboszlai 10, Salah, Luis Diaz or Cody Gakpo on the left. And obviously they've changed so many elements of their team and obviously got Florian Wirtz in at number 10, who we're going to come to in the video. We want to talk about Florian Wirtz, particularly the second half yesterday. And then another thing they might have fell on yesterday with Szoboszlai. I do think that it's scary because he feels like a lock for 25 goals. And all of a sudden now Liverpool fans are like, you can laugh at Mo Salah maybe declining, maybe it might be this year, maybe it might be next, and they don't really care. They'll win it with or without Salah's decline. He's still going to get his. I don't think he'll get 30. Obviously, yesterday I thought Salah had a really tough game, and weirdly, his first touch was off, which was not like him, to be fair. But it doesn't matter. They've got Isak, Ekatike off the bench. Christian, let's not blow over that. That's a good thing. Teams in the Prem, not many good sides have great plan Bs. I tell you, you're 1-1, chuck Ekatike on up top with Isak. Go 4-4-2 because teams are penned in. Ekatike and Isak in the last 20 minutes. Fuck me, man.
They've somehow got the options to play the way they have previously played under Klopp, and now they've just opened up this complete new door with Isak, which I think will suit them, Alex. We've seen previously Liverpool have maybe struggled a couple of times against low blocks. I think Isak is going to help massively with that. And one thing where people talk about Mo Salah, and I think he's disrespected massively, they go, well, he's just, he gets his goals, penalties and all this bullshit. I tell you what, if you really watch Mo Salah, he's an unbelievable passer of the football as well.
Yes.
One area of his game that is so underrated by opposition fans, probably not Liverpool. Now, that alongside Isak's presence in the box, who we know is a clinical finisher, frightening, man. It is frightening. And then Alex, like you just said, mate, you said about Ekitike, who I like the look of as well, and I take my word back on that. They signed him. The reason I went down that route is, look, I'm against paying premium for unproven players. Look, they can work. We've seen they can work. It's just all my argument with them signings is that most of the time they don't. But if you can find one that does, fucking fair play, run with it. Now, it looks like they can, say it isn't working with Isak, they can throw on. They've got Cody Gakpo. They've got Hugo Ekitike now. I don't know. After beating Arsenal yesterday, and they've got over the line with that, then they go and sign Isak on the back of that performance. I think Arsenal fans were probably feeling down. I'm not as bothered because I just don't even put us in the conversation, and I didn't put us in the conversation before the season anyway. So I'm not really that concerned. It's of little concern to me. However, to Arsenal fans, imagine losing that game where they thought maybe we could have got something here, but Arteta just does Arteta things and won't go for it.
Yeah.
He wants a Premier League given to him, but he won't go and take it. And we know what it takes. We know if you want to win a league, you've got to go to these grounds. You've got to go to Anfield, go toe-to-toe. You've got to go to the Etihad and try and take it off them. Try and prove that you're the big dog now. Liverpool did it with us. And one thing I will always give Liverpool credit, even when, Pep and Klopp, and they battled it out, and Pep did get the better of it, but Klopp never pussied out on them battles, Alex. He never came to the Etihad and went for a 0-0. No chance he was doing that, because Klopp always believed in his team, and he would always take them toe-to-toe to battle. And that's where I don't think Arteta will ever take them over the line. And then they go and sign Isak on the back of that. Arsenal fans must just be like, things were bad. It's now, we're just in peril.
What a brilliant point you made there about Klopp and going to and let's go back a little bit further, Christian. Let's talk about, you could go even further back than I was going to go Mancini first. Let's go back to Wenger and Fergie. Mate, those Arsenal United games, yes, they didn't want to lose, but they wanted to win.
Yeah.
Then you go to Arsenal won the league at Old Trafford. Sylvain Wiltord scored a goal. They won 1-0. That was against Roy Keane's led Fergie United. That is what Wenger was like, now we're going to go and win it OT. I think it was a Monday night game, actually, going back quite a while later, so you're challenging me on my United trivia. Mancini, massive credit. Look, did I hate it? I felt sick. I nearly was sick when that Aguero goal went in. But you know what? City won the league. Yeah, I know it was the Aguero goal. City won the league when they beat United. They went to Old Trafford and won 6-1 early in the season, and then they also followed it up at home when they had to win, and they went for it, and they got the 1-0 goal with Company. City won the league that day. Arteta, how long are you going to go with this? We're going to huff and puff for 60 minutes, then get out of there with a 0-0. Mate, there's a reason Jose Mourinho is not at the top level anymore. That style doesn't work, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can Arteta sit there after yesterday's game and go, they blatantly got to the 60th minute and were like, right, we did want to win, but we've not got the goal. Now we're going to get out of here with a 0-0. And Saliba was injured as well, so you can't even really sit back. Although I thought Mascara had a good game, in fairness. And Liverpool smelt blood. You sit back, we'll beat you. And Liverpool, you're right. Massive respect. Those Klopp made them Klopp Guardiola games. There was that Monday night one that they beat. You won 2-1, and it was one of the highest level Premier League games I have ever seen. I think John Stones cleared one off the line. They were at it. You were at it, and that's what I have an issue with Arteta. And I did have them winning the league slightly, but I just felt like it was so easy to pick Liverpool. And now I can't. You're right, Christian. I mean, 24 hours. What a difference 24 hours can make. You get over the line in a tough game, and you go and sign Isak straight after it.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, Alex, with these situations when they come up, and obviously Arteta is doing this thing, and I don't know what he's hoping for, because yesterday it seemed like they're scared to come out, and they'll only come out when it's too late, and then you'll see the best of them. that is not a way to win a Premier League. And I have an issue with it as well. And this is why I always pick Liverpool. Even before the Isak signing, I said Liverpool. Do you know why? It's because a team that's done it before have proved they've got that mentality. They have got Premier League winning players in their team. They know what it feels like. They know what it feels like to be in the last 10 minutes of games in big matches and take it away from the opponent because they've done it from us. Admittedly, we did get the better of them, but this is a new group of players as well. And they're proving that they're top of their game. They have got some players in that team, Alex. I mean, I just want to talk to you. I know you're a big fan of this guy. Talk to me about, always butcher this dude's name, I apologise. Sloboslai, is it?
Soboslai, yeah.
Soboslai, yeah. Talk to me about that guy, bro.
Yeah, Soboslai, someone that I really liked from minute one, really, and I know quite a decent portion of Liverpool fans did as well. I remember it was the summer United signed Mason Mount to play centre mid, Casemiro and Bruno, which I was very, very upset about. And I watched an early Liverpool game that season, and it was the first time I'd seen Dominic Soboslai play. And I texted one of my friends and I said, we should have gone and got a player profile like Soboslai, or even better yet, just go and get Soboslai. I really liked what I saw. I thought my initial reaction with Soboslai was high IQ, very good engine. I mean, that's undeniable. The guy's stamina, he's one of the fittest guys in the league. I could see the quality. I mean, obviously the 30-yarder yesterday, I mean, you know, I didn't know his ceiling when it comes to shooting, although I saw him bang one in top bins for Hungary that seemed to be around on social media. So, look, I saw the quality. Obviously, Klopp played him as an 8, and I really liked that idea of pairing him with a Casemiro or instead of a Mason Mount, because we lacked balance, and he is a very, very good, smart, hard-working player. Showed his utility skills yesterday, where he went to a position he doesn't normally play, and he also scored the winner. I think he's a very impressive player. He scored at the Etihad last year. Just going back to what you said there about Guardiola, Klopp, Fergie, Wenger, Mancini, winning at the big games. Arne Slot deserves credit. We'll come to Slot in a minute, Christian.
Yeah.
Went to City last year. Soboslai was great in that game. And what I like about Soboslai is, we were speaking about players playing out of position. I don't think Soboslai can play out of position. I think right back, DM, number 8, number 10 last season. Massive respect to that guy. I think he's a class. I really do think he's a class player. And you're seeing it. And honestly, have they fell on something with that right back shit, Christian?
You just touched on it before, and I wanted to move on into that because, and also give Slot his flowers here. Now, weirdly, we've just done an episode on playing players out of position. There's times this can work, and when the rest of the team is elite, and also he did it for a greater good because he's like, well, look, if I can get Wirtz more in the game and in the positions he prefers playing and receiving the ball there, that could work. Sloboslai's that good that he knew he could get a job out of him anyway, and as proven in possession, he was drifting into them positions where he wants to play anyway. You know what I mean? And you made a great comparison. So you said, have they fell on something? Now, obviously, we've just seen Trent go. I know they've got Frimpong. Frimpong is a little bit more erratic. You know, he is going to go forward a lot. In terms of controlling game, Alex, and dictating them, could they be onto something in terms of Trent out the door, them in possession, and you've got an extra man, and that extra man is Sloboslai, and then you've got Wirtz in his preferred position? That's, 100%. Alex, again, worrying. Also,
was it in the second half yesterday when he hit an incredible diag to Wirtz, and Wirtz brought it down exceptionally?
Yeah, I recall,
and played it to Salah, whose touch was off. And I think Carragher mentioned it on comms, or somebody, or was it Neville, mentioned Trent Alexander-Arnold-esque. He did it. Liverpool fans know he did it for so long. I think Liverpool fans were just accepting that we've got Frimpong in. It's a different look. You see that yesterday. They have got an issue in there because you did have Soboslai, McAllister, Gravenberch, and now Wirtz. You want to play him in the 10. I think we saw more. Let's get on to Wirtz, Christian. Somebody that obviously chose Liverpool over City in the summer and Bayern.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just you. And he has had a tough start to his Prem career. I think he's been getting hounded. A bit of physicality, a bit of pace and power. And then yesterday in the second half, I did see the technique coming in a little bit. The first touch off that Soboslai diag was fantastic. The touch and volley in the box when Ekitike scored off the rebound but was offside. Yeah. Those moments, I was like, okay, right now I'm starting to see a little bit of the Florian Wirtz that I think City wanted, Liverpool got, Bayern wanted. And I just want to go back to the Isak signing. Do you think that obviously Isak's gone for more money? Could this be a blessing in disguise for Wirtz, who's had a difficult couple of games? It's 2 games. I'm not I'm not blowing this out of proportion here, but obviously when you go for 100 mil, mate, we've seen it with Paul Pogba, we've seen it with Jack Grealish, seen it with even players like Gavardi.
Weighs heavy.
Yeah, they're coming for you. If you knew Florian Wirtz didn't start great, he's going to get completely hammered on Twitter, and he has been doing. He's obviously got shrugged off it a couple of times. Obviously saw a little bit of better signs. Do you think that the obviously now Isak is he's the blockbuster move now? Could that just relax things,
alleviate the pressure a little bit? Yeah,
and let him come into his role.
I think it could as well, Alex. And I think the reason why I always expected this kind of start with Wirtz is because Liverpool had a tough start anyway. Then if you're looking at the player profile of a Florian Wirtz, it's tough to make a player comp, really. But the one I would come to, don't get me wrong, he's got a long way to go until he gets to this level, but David Silva.
I mean, going to say that.
Yeah, a David Silva. Now, listen, David Silva, when he first came to the league, maybe some even City fans will remember this. There was a certain game, Alex, and it was Blackpool, and he scored an insane goal, and he was incredible that day. Up until that point, people were going, he's not strong enough for this league, he's not cut out for it, he's not going to work, he'll be back in Spain in a year. Now, we saw what went on there, and I think them player profiles, you've got to give them time. They've got to understand the squad they're playing in. Positionally, it's going to take a little bit to adjust. I do think he will, and you're going to see glimpses. We saw a few glimpses yesterday, like my brother highlighted, and I think going forward you'll see a lot more of it. And where I think you are right, and you make a fair point, bro, is that they go and get Isak. That pressure is a little bit off, and the concentration shifts a little bit more to Isak, especially because of how high profile this transfer has been, and the unrest around the Newcastle supporters and Liverpool. So, look, I think it can help him, but I do think, and I think Liverpool fans are right to have confidence that he will come into his own. And the only question for me is if Slobozai does go to this right-back role, or he does favour this in big games, I do think that'll help him a lot. However, if they run it with the 3, which has already shown you it's a winning formula, it's going to be difficult in terms of placing him in the team, because he needs a run of games. Going back to what I was just saying, but I would say, if you're a Liverpool fan, I would have confidence that he is going to become what you think he will.
I do. It was those 2 moments, and it wasn't just that. I thought I saw a bit more of the gliding across the ground from Wirtz yesterday in some of your semi transitions, and to be honest, it was Salah that was ballsing up a lot of the situations that Liverpool were creating in Wirtz, and that bring down and strike that Ekitike scored off. I text you and Patrick in our WhatsApp group, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I mean, okay, he's gonna get people like Pape Sarr throwing him over, but if he can pluck out Cody Gakpo shit crosses like that out from his hip and nail a shot, and it nearly went in. This is the technique, and he's going to be bouncing off an Alexander Isak now, mate.
This is key. This is key, Alex. To go back to Isak, how much does Isak change things for a Florian Wirtz? Because I really think, in terms of their other options which they go with, I think Isak's going to bring the best out of him. Now, Isak is not he will blitz into space behind. He's an intelligent footballer. He comes back and he'll play little 1-2s. But what he does, he's a big motherfucker, and he'll take presence with that. And that opens up space subsequently for Florian Wirtz. I really think it is a great move for Liverpool for a few different reasons, and I think that's one of them.
Christian, let's just say simply, they've got a front 4 of Mo Salah, Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, and Cody Gakpo right now. And by the way, they're managing to get Szoboszlai still in at right back. I assume Slot's going to give that a good go. Probably a good segue into Slot. I want to talk about him and somebody that came in after Klopp. I watched the greatest manager in my lifetime, and Sir Alex Ferguson, leave, and we have been in really the shadow ever since, really. Yeah. But for a couple of what we thought was promising moments, they never amounted to anything, and now we are in the fucking dungeons of 3-4-3 with this guy. But that's
Mr. Bean.
Yeah, with Mr. Bean doing we've got Mr. Bean doing open heart surgery now. No, so obviously Jurgen Klopp all-time great manager. We have massive respect to Klopp. I really think his personality, I would have loved him at Old Trafford, to be honest. As great as Guardiola is, I think Klopp actually fitted a bit more of the United way, that heavy metal style that Fergie played. Guardiola, fantastic style in his own right, by the way. Massive respect to him. But yeah, obviously Klopp was at Liverpool. That's obviously a pipe dream of mine. Arne Slot has come in. And for him to come in and we did the transfers on the other ones, 42 million window, Chiesa and a reserve keeper. To make the changes that he made, Szoboszlai, we've spoke about in the episode, moving to number 10 to help with the press, moving a whole host of people into that number 9 role because of Núñez's inconsistencies, be it Jota, be it Gakpo, be it Luis Diaz, and then obviously allowing Salah, you stay up that end of the pitch, we'll cover you, we've got Szoboszlai, we've got Gravenberch, you stay up there and win the league for us, and he did. And obviously now we're seeing a different rendition of the Arne Slot side. What have you liked from this manager? And is it fair to say, probably the first time now, you're actually sitting back and going, is Arne Slot actually a really top manager in Europe now? Is it? Because I think I'm leaning that way already.
Oh, mate, he is. And you know what? I've got a couple of reasons on why he is as well. You mentioned something. So when Jurgen Klopp left, now we've seen this, we're going to see Pep Guardiola depart from my club. And we saw Alex Ferguson at your club. And when these guys go, Alex, Jurgen Klopp was loved by the Liverpool supporters. And he left some legacy. He had such a great connection with the fans. And also, like you said, the brand of football he played was attractive. And you can see why the fans all bought into it, loved the way he was. Now, to follow that, don't underestimate how difficult that is. We saw, United still haven't got it. United are still trying. Alex, when did Fergie leave? You talking 2015, 14?
No, 2013.
2013, my bad, 2013. United still have not found the replacement, and they're still going to have to go again. Now, Arne Slot came in directly after Jurgen Klopp. He had some shoes to fill, and by God has he done it. And not only he's not stealing Klopp's style, he's taken... Do you know what I like? He's got an attitude where he has his own imprint on the game, and it's almost a blend of his own style and a little bit of Jurgen Klopp's as well. So he's kept that Liverpool way under Klopp. They are still that same explosive side, but he's added a bit more control to the game as well, which I think last season helped them, got them over the line when there was a few sticky patches. And then we're looking this season, bro. And what he's doing, and this is where I came to with Arteta, and I just don't feel like he has that big dog in him. Whereas against Newcastle, away, really poor performance. Newcastle should have won that game with 10 men. But what does he do? He throws a 16-year-old kid on. He gets the fucking winner. Now, managers that are that bold and have the bollocks to do it, they are out on their own. And this is where he's at. And this is why he was the guy to fill Klopp's shoes, because any normal character that comes in who's just a solid Premier League manager, they struggle because they can't make them calls, and they don't make them calls in the moment. And this is what you see with Arteta.
Yeah, you make a great point. And something that it made me, obviously saw it again yesterday with Szoboszlai right back. Like the young lad, sorry, can't remember his name, but shout at him, 16-year-old.
Conor Bradley. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the Liverpool lad who scored the winner at St James's a week ago. Fantastic. And I think Arne Slot's got that. He's got that thing about him. I don't want to say the Fergie thing, but he has got a little bit of it where he'll just do some bullshit and it'll work. And it's strange because I saw it with Fergie even to the back end of Fergie, it was struggling, Valencia to right back and play another winger. David Moyes tried that the next season and it cost us games. We actually went on to lose them. It's a unique skill. Federico Macheda, go and fucking win the league for us, mate. We had Ronaldo up front, and it's like Chuck Macheda on, got a last-minute goal against Villa.
And then weirdly, a guy that has a very similar name, Chiesa, he's doing the same thing with him. Go on, get us a goal. Goes on, gets him a goal.
It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's the team have full belief in Arne Slot, and they are all ready to go. You mentioned, I completely forgot. Game 1, another one they could have slipped up in.
Alex, you've hit on something there. It's the ability to squeeze more juice out of a player that no other manager in the world could. And it's such a rare attribute from a manager, and when you've got one...
Yeah, I mean, they're not sat there sulking. Chiesa barely played last year, and it's like, bosh, game 1, you're going to win us the game, mate. And he fucking did. The young kid at St. James's, this is your moment. Yeah. Go on there. I know we're playing shit. We've lost complete control. Don't know what happened to Liverpool at St. James's. You're going to be important for us tonight. And then he might not play for another maybe the Carabao, he might get a game. Obviously, he's not going to play against Arsenal. He's going to protect him. Brilliant. He seems like a great man management, and he's got a great... Seems like the dressing room's a very good place. And Slot. And look, everyone was like, who's going to miss out of that 3? Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai. And on the back of yesterday, it looks like none of them. And you can still get Wirtz in the 10. Obviously, small sample size. I know we've not seen enough of this with Szoboszlai at right back. But all of a sudden, it feels like, oh my God. Well, they rode Arnold there. If anything, Szoboszlai's probably better 1v1 defending than Arnold.
Undoubtedly. I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
Fantastic. And Christian, we've been talking about Slot for 5-6 minutes. We've not mentioned Ryan Gravenberch DM that he found last year.
Yeah, so there's two names, Alex. So there's Ryan Gravenberch and there's Szoboszlai, and there's something that we've touched on. Alex, you have arguments on TikTok daily with your fan base, and one thing we bring up is then, so if you're backing Amorim as a coach, who has he made better? The answer is nobody, right? Now, if you look at Arne Slot, he came into, let's be honest, that side was flagging, and if you could have gone, and you didn't know the outcome, the trajectory of Liverpool and City at them respective times, you would have guessed that Liverpool would have been in our position, wouldn't you? You would have never said that it would be City, right? And that was because when Klopp left, it wasn't looking that great. But he's come in, he has undoubtedly made these guys better. I mean, Szoboszlai took him to another level. Gravenberch, he's took him to a level that we didn't even know Gravenberch was capable of.
No, we didn't. He's given him a position. I mean, it's phenomenal.
100%.
And obviously they've got... It looks like Van Dijk's got enough juice left for this season. Salah's Salah, man. I don't think you can know it. He can have bad games, and then they'll go and reel off eight goals in 8 games. I mean, and it don't matter anyway. They've got fucking Isak. I bet there's Liverpool fans watching this going, "Yeah, cool episode, boys. We're not worried about Salah."
Yeah, man, and I don't blame him.
Look, Alexander Isak. We don't really need to delve into it. We've seen the guy for 2 years. He's a regular goal scorer. Yeah. Before we wrap up, let's give him a little statistic. A very impressive one. Conversion rate, 31% on every shot he takes in the Premier League. He averages a goal every 3.2 shots. This is where I could see 23 goals, potentially 29, potentially 30, because he's going to get more chances. He's going to get better chances. If Wirtz starts reaching the levels of creation that big teams expected this summer, your team expected this summer, and Salah's got that nice, you mentioned the passing, he's also got that nice inside sort of back post cross, and he's has class in the air as well, man. I don't know how they don't win the league. And just before we wrap up, Christian, what about the next, dare I say, next year? Because that would be 3 in a row, and your guys did 4 in a row. Are you concerned about a dynasty here for Liverpool?
I think with Liverpool, it's tough to predict because there's a couple of their key players being Van Dijk and Salah. Yeah. We don't know how that's going to go forward. And I think that's the only reason, not that I'd be concerned anyway. Look, I love watching great teams play football. If they're capable of that, then fucking fair enough, man. I'd hold my hands up and say well done to them. So yeah, I think there's too many question marks over that currently. And I suppose then it's how they would replace them guys going forward. But go and get in, one of the youngest midfielders around who is tipped for stardom, then, they've thrown down the gauntlet. Then they've gone and took one of the 2 best strikers in, I wouldn't just say the league, but in the world. I don't think there's many out there that if you're talking about out-and-out number 9s and what you get a rounded player, Isak's up there with the best. There's not many strikers around. It's a dry market. I think it's an intelligent signing. And in the end, 125 mil. Look, I know money's gone berserk in this world, but if you're talking about in the same market that Benjamin Sesko's going for, 70, 80 million, Alex?
Yeah, he did.
So if you're talking about these guys are going for that amount and they've scored 13 goals in the Bundesliga, and you're buying a ready-made guy who is world-class already, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. So, fair play to him.
Let's spell it out, Christian. You buy 70 mil, you buy twice. So, United fans, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you whinging.
No,
when we went
exactly.
Højlund and Sesko cost us 150 million. Should we combine what they scored in the league last year? 13 plus 4, 17. So we spent 150 million on them too. They spent 130 million on this guy, and he got more goals than Højlund and Sesko put together. So who's really winning it? Because they aren't going to have to. I tell you what, any United fans watching this who are a bit annoyed with the episode or annoyed with they love Sesko, I tell you one thing, you can't look me in the eye and say Liverpool are going to be back in the market next year for a striker, because they won't be, unless he tears an ACL or something similar. Alexander Isak is their striker for the next 5-6 years. They've also might have a number 10 for the next 5-6 years. They've also got a midfield 3 for the next 5-6 years. So yeah, great. Absolutely great.
They're incredibly well set for the future. I think the only 2 question marks will be, and look, I know they didn't get the Gay one over the line, unless things have changed since we've been on here recording. Now, I don't really think it matters. I think they can get more juice out of the pair of them for the time being. I don't think it's at a point where it's critical. It's certainly not going to be a problem this year. Maybe next summer it's something they need to look at and get them signings right. But to be fair, Alex, with the way Slot is moving in the market, I'm impressed. And I think they're going for proven players, or if they're not going proven, they're going as fucking near to it as possible. You know what I mean? And that is what you need as a winning formula. Take that from me, because I saw my club win using that exact formula. We've strayed. We're now going potential. We go Doku. We go Savinho. Let's just hope they come good. No, go with the players you believe are closest to being what you need at that right time.
Yeah, a little saying, buy potential, you buy twice, sometimes 3 times, sometimes 4 in my club. So, well, we're still going. We're still trying to replace goals. No, man, look, I think, well, they're going to get Gay for free. So, yeah, Palace get another year of Gay, but he's going to go there for free next summer. So, whatever that means for it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens to Konate and Van Dijk, because I think Gay's a really, really good player. Not on their level, appreciate, but just before we wrap up, Christian, do you think that, talking about the defence, and it has looked a little bit shaky, Liverpool fans will be the first to say that, although I thought yesterday they looked a lot better, and Van Dijk's been a lot better. He was a lot better yesterday than he was in the first game. I think Van Dijk's been brilliant in the next 2, and he's an all-time great. Look, I'm a United fan, but I'm not going to sit here and start getting into it with like, he's only won 2 league or whatever he's won. I don't care what he's won. He's a fucking absolute goal boy. He's class, Van Dijk, and he might still be class. Even still with the defence and whatever it ends up, the goals against Colin for Liverpool, is there an element of you that's looking at Liverpool as an offensive force here? How many goals do you think they might actually get this year? Is that something you're looking at going, yeah, the defence might concede, they also might score over 100 goals this year?
Well, to piggyback on what you were just saying about Isak and him coming in and what he could potentially do, the potential with Isak is unknown and it's uncapped, and we genuinely don't know what this could look like. And I think we're going to get a better view in the next few weeks, presumably. Now, Liverpool going forward, I think, we've seen some defensive insufficiencies like in the first few games. I don't think it's anything to be too concerned about, if I'm being honest. Will they still wrap up the league? Yeah, because the firepower up front, is unbelievable, and they will outscore every opponent in the Premier League. And on the back of it, Arsenal, you've got to look and say Arsenal are going to be the only team that are going to realistically be able to challenge them this season. Tottenham aren't good enough, and Chelsea, no, I don't see it, to be honest. Maybe in about 6 years when these players are fucking 20. But other than that. So in all honesty, mate, I do think they are set for a ridiculously impressive scoring season. Even if they concede more than they usually would or more than they would like to, I don't feel like it's going to make any difference in the long run, and they'll win it.
Yeah, I mean, just to finish it with a couple of stats from last year, they scored 86 goals in the league last year, Liverpool. They've added Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike off the bench. Yes, they conceded 41 last year, so I don't see that figure going up that much. 41 goals, that's quite a lot, really, for a defence led by Van Dijk. I didn't even realise that. is that 86 goal score going to go up, Christian? Is that going to crack? They'll crack 100 this year.
We saw it against Bournemouth, Alex. We saw it, we've got the proof already. We saw against Bournemouth.
They scored 83.
Defensively it was an issue, but did they get it over the line? Yes, and that leans more into all the other things we were saying with Slot, how he can throw on players and get something out of them. Chiesa throws on a 16-year-old, gets something out of him. Now they have got untapped potential in taking one of the best strikers in the league. I don't even think people are going to be within touching distance in the last 10 minutes. I think they're going to blow away quite a few opponents early. I really do.
Look, I don't want to watch Liverpool be amazing. I'm a United fan.
But you've got to be honest, bro. You've got to be honest. Neither do I, mate. But we're football fans at a core, and we know what we're seeing. So
when that Centurion City season was happening, you played a game against Arsenal away. It was against Wenger's Arsenal. I think I texted you midway through it. It was like Sane, Sterling, Aguero, Silva, De Bruyne going berserk. And I was like, this is the greatest football I've ever seen in my eyes.
Yeah.
And look, football is a brand at the end of the day. And if I'm sitting down to watch Liverpool against Forest, and Liverpool are going to put a show on, I ain't cheering the goals in, but at the same time, I can appreciate good football. And I do think we lack in a little bit of great sort of styles, really. Obviously, a lot of people have tried to emulate Pep, and they can't do it as good. So, yeah, look, let's see what's going to happen. Any Liverpool fans watching the video, first of all, we really appreciate you watching. We hope you've enjoyed us running through what we have seen, what we expect to see, and obviously, I'm sure you guys are buzzing after one of the all-time great summer windows, really. Yeah, man, enjoy it, and let us know in the comments what you think. What is your expectations for the season? I mean, obviously, can you crack 100 goals? What are you expecting? Are you expecting offensive juggernaut? I mean, on paper, it looks like this. I can't see any other outcome, to be honest. It's going to be interesting.
I'd be interested to hear from Liverpool fans as well, the Slobozar situation. Do you see that as a fixture going forward? And then subsequently Wirtz is fit into that side? Definitely hit us up in the comments and let us know.
Sure thing, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Massively appreciate it. We will catch you on the next one. We will be doing, obviously, the derby after the international break. It's a big one for me and my brother. We'll be doing pre-match. We'll be doing the watch-along live. We'll be doing the post-match live as well. It can't be as bad as the derby last year. It was 0-0. It was terrible. It's got to be better. We're too shit to draw 0-0, aren't we, Christian? So, I mean, let's face it.
Nunez will give you one at one point, so I won't be concerned about it being a 0-0, lad.
So, look, any Liverpool fans that like the content, we'd really appreciate a like, comment, and if you want to see a little bit more, hit the subscribe as well, and maybe see you on the lives, particularly the derby. Thank you all for listening. Massively appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.